This is Just in Case of America Newscape, joining my friend, Kim Kerley. Kim is here to shed some light on the lighter side of life and where we find ourselves today. Everybody, we love her. We love her wit, her comedic genius, and we are excited she is here. Greetings, Kim. Welcome to America Newscape.
Hey, how's it going, just in case?
Hey, we are doing well. And we are.
We are. Oh, you speak in the royal we. That's great.
Yeah.
I knew there was something special about you when I first started talking to you.
There is. There's a lot of things that are special about me, and people point that out. You know, they tend to let me walk by, and then they point after I walk by, and they said,
Well, people should really talk to their children about saying the truth in public. But hey, I was wondering about, I don't have a glam squad, so hopefully I look okay for this. This is, you have to, I don't know, there's a Zoom thing and people really know how to do the right angles. We good? We good? Because I'm vain. I'm very vain.
we are very good, and I didn't believe with your background that you afforded yourself vanity, other than looking good.
I do afford myself vanity now.
Okay, despite, for everybody that hasn't seen her, I want people to realize I saw Kim online. She's a stand-up comedian, stand-up comic, and I watched her bit, and within 5 minutes, I was laughing so hard that I got angry. And the reason I'd gotten angry is because I'd never seen her before.
Well,
And
thank you, just in case. That's really cool to say.
so I said, maybe she's crazy like me. I know our audience
Yeah.
will love her. Let me reach out to her so I can go through that. I would love to interview you, that song and dance, send her emails, send her messages, join all of her social media things. And,
Yay.
and lo and behold, she got back to me. And at that point, I was speechless. So
That's awesome. Well,
that
yeah.
that's why we're so excited. So, Kim, give us some of your background, will you please?
So I was born a small child. They expected a big one. Actually, I'm from San Antonio, Texas. I got here when I was little and grew up here. So I am, as I say, a Texas girl, and came from a highly dysfunctional family, as most of us do. One
Absolutely.
time we were on the radio. We were on the radio, and they said they were talking about crazy neighbors, and I was sitting there going, "Who was our crazy neighbor? Who was our? Oh, we were the crazy neighbors." We were it. So I grew up with this really crazy family, and unfortunately left home when I was 14. And I was adorable and cute, and went through some hard times, but still finished high school, went to college, got my master's, and persevered even through all that. So I am a stand-up comic, a speaker, a writer, and a counselor. So, and there's more to come because I'm not dead yet. So.
Maybe that's why I'm here. That desperate need for counseling. And ladies and gentlemen, if you haven't been to San Antonio, and if you don't really know me, a friend and I were flying in for what was called in those days the World Shotgun Shooting Championships, was included all of the venues, and it was going to be in San Antonio, Texas.
Shooting championships.
And we flew in to the airport, and when the plane opened the door and I took that first step off the plane, I said, "Oh my goodness, there's a broken water main in this airport." And then when I stepped outside, I said, "What is the humidity?" Now, I've been to New Orleans, Mississippi, and I swear the humidity must have been 105%.
Yeah, it's bad. But the good news is, as a woman, or as a guy, hey, you come out here, you don't get wrinkled as fast. I mean, look at Arizona women, look at San Antonio women, or Houston women. Oh my God, they could be 60 years old. They look like they're 25 because they've never ever dried up.
Well, see,
Yeah.
that's certainly the,
Yeah.
the glass half full. But I
Well,
have bet.
here we say it's not the heat, it's the humidity, honey. It's not the heat, it's humid. And the truth is, it is because I've lived in out in New Mexico I was there for a few months once in my teenage years, and it was the humidity because it was nice. It'd be like 95 degrees, and I was not
You,
sweating,
you didn't
or I
notice.
was sweating and didn't notice. You need to drink. You need to drink.
Well, yeah, that's what we say, especially the new people. Drink
You
or
don't know,
perish.
and be careful if you don't put saline up your nose. It's going to bleed all over the place. We don't need that at supper. So
Yeah, it's like the desert Southwest. When it's 120 degrees, we just don't go stand in the sun. We stay in the
yeah.
air conditioning. So
Yeah.
okay,
And here in San Antonio, when it's June, we just don't go outside.
right, exactly. See, we have evolved.
Until September, end of September, then maybe. Hey, crime goes down here because people are just too tired to get out of their car and too hot to go rob stuff. So we don't want
Okay,
to do it.
all right,
Too
Kim.
hot.
Too hot. It is hot. Okay, what was your path to comedy? I assume you grew up, and they said you. People kept telling you you're so funny.
Okay, so I went through a real a stage of love me, please like me, because when you are without a home as a young child, that
Exactly.
develops. Love me, like me. So I was the funny kid, but I was the funny kid even in school. I was the one that was the I was the cut up. And as a teacher, I would tell the kids at the beginning of the year, if I'm laughing and if I'm making something, I'm enjoying myself. It's not because I want you to like me. It's just that I think I'm hilarious and I'm laughing because I want to. But yeah, I was the funny person. But the thing that happened, I used to watch comedy. Remember when Whoopi Goldberg and Billy Crystal and Robin Williams used to do those specials? Remember
Oh yeah,
that
I
comedy
do.
explosion after Robin Williams? There was always a lot of comedy. George Carlin. I mean, I used to watch George Carlin, Richard Pryor on Ed Sullivan. I'm dating myself, and then we had the next comedy explosion was when we had Eddie Murphy, and it was. I was always just enthralled. But when I sat in front of comics and watched them on TV, I never laughed. I was just like, wow, that was great. I thought that the other day. It was like I was studying them and I didn't even notice I did that. I was just, this is amazing stuff. So I did make a mental note of it once when people were watching, everyone was laughing, and I was like, wow, I'm just so interested in studying them, I guess. But anyway, time goes on. I got married, I had kids, and I was the funny mother. Hey, life continues. Funny mother,
Somebody had to
the
do
funny one.
it.
I was the one that people said, "Oh, our party's boring. Would you get here?" That was me. I was the one to get there and make the parties better. Me and my hot cocoa or whatever I was carrying. And what happened on my 35th birthday? On my 35th birthday, my brother and my sister come over. I had a beautiful home in Kyle, Texas, and we're sitting around talking, and I start telling stories, and my brother laughed so hard he lost his breath, and he's just dying, and my sister's dying, and my kids are laughing. And after what was over, we went for a ride, and he said, if you don't do something with this talent, you're crazy. I mean, I'm 35 years old. It's like, what, I've always thought about it. I mean, I'm sure just in case you thought about it, if you're the funny guy. And a year later, a friend of mine, someone who actually graduated with my brother and someone who I dated before.
Oh
Thanks,
my God.
George, for doing this. I dated when I was 20 and 21, and here I am 36. And for my birthday, he gave me stand-up comedy lessons that were in Austin. So I used to live in Kyle, Texas. Kyle's near Austin. So I started going these lessons, and you have to put together 5 minutes. And so I did. I put together the 5 minutes, and then you go showcase, right? You go to your first show, and they had like, I swear, they had like 35 people in the lineup, and everybody was doing just a few minutes, And he put me last because I was the guy who said, everybody come, I'm going to do comedy, everybody come. And guess what? A lot of people came. A
Right.
lot of people came. And he knew that a lot of the room was for me. So I went last. Didn't know about that at the beginning, but I've learned that since. And I remember going into the bathroom, putting my head against the wall, going, oh, dear God, I want to throw up. I don't think I can do this. I wanted to run, but I had my 5 minutes. I was ready. So I did my 5 minutes. And to tell you the truth, after that 5 minutes, I never got off the stage again. I had to do more. It's kind of like catching a virus. It's a
Yeah.
terrible thing to say.
Well, it is.
I got to do this. I got to do this. It was just in me. And if you talk to comics, I mean, I'm telling you, it's a drive that's just crazy weird, which is why I became a counselor.
Yeah.
Just
You knew you needed it.
I
You
knew
needed
this.
it.
I need help, man. This is,
Well, I'll date myself a little bit. You talk about studying comics, and yes, all of them, and even I go. You can go back further, but comedy is an art, and it's a dance, and it's the gestures, and
yep.
it's the movements, and it's the reaching to the crowd, and the interaction with the crowd. And I find myself doing that too. I'll just sit there with my mouth open. And then occasionally I'll see somebody that's so refreshing and so new, I get angry because I've never seen her before.
Yeah, that's neuroses talking. But
Okay, yeah.
the what were you saying? I
Who
had a
knows?
thought.
I don't listen. I don't listen. You know,
You don't listen to yourself.
the other thing, people don't realize, and I think this is one thing that Kim and I have in common. We love to hear ourselves talk. And that's why we can laugh at our own jokes.
Yeah, yeah.
And once you get a chance to see her, and once you Google her and watch her stand-up bit, you'll notice the same thing that I noticed.
Oh,
That
thanks, just in case.
Well, you're going to notice that her comedy is not for the faint of cerebral cognitive thought. It's pretty. Some of it's
I
very
get that a
sophisticated.
lot.
Some
I
of
get that a
it's
lot. I don't think it's
yeah.
that smart, but I get, oh, she's too smart for the room. I'm thinking, well, maybe I need to be funnier. I'll work on it.
No, no,
But
no. We just need to put you in front of really smart people. You need to go do
smart
like
people,
the nuclear physicist convention and see if they get it.
oh,
Of course,
okay.
they have no personalities, but they won't get it. But when you watch her and you notice that the crowd isn't getting it, it's hilarious to me. You just see this joke whooshing through the room over their heads, and you find yourself laughing. And then, of course, you get angry because you never saw her before.
The teacher face comes out of me. I know on stage sometimes I would be like, "Oh, please, did you not get that?" But I want to go back to like when I first started in comedy.
Okay.
I was the angry female comic. I was very angry, and I worked out a lot of stuff on stage, and people didn't like. I would walk out on stage because you talked about it being a dance. You talk about being an art. It took me quite a few years to walk out on stage and have that comfort and have that control and have that energy. It's an energy. It really is. To where people looked at me and they were liking me. And in the past, they were looking at me like, oh God,
Who is this woman?
she's pissed.
Yeah.
She's angry. We're going to hear a lot of angry stuff tonight. And it changed and it shifted. And when it shifted, that's when everything shifted for me. I enjoyed it a whole lot more. I started getting booked a whole lot more. I didn't want to get off stage. And like one time, I mean, I don't know who your audience is, but I get booked for a lot of things, but I got booked for the guise of Playgirl back when the Playgirl was a thing. And
Right.
I did a 50 to, I think it was almost an hour set. And when I was done and they brought the guys out, the women were all yelling, "Bring back Kim Curley." And I thought, I have arrived. When the women wanted to have me and the interaction that we were having more than the men. And by the way, Playgirl was destined to not work, but that's a psychological issue that we can talk about another time. So,
Well, I think it was a statement.
that's it. That's all it was. That's all it was.
I assume, well, this is an assumption, and you ask about our audience. First clue, our audience puts up with me. So
Oh, good. Yay.
we're all of that.
Your mother,
Yeah.
your aunts, a few uncles, maybe.
Their expectations of me are not very high. They just, when you came on, they said, please be as quiet as you can, stay out of her way, let Kim take this. But but no, it's fast. I assume that your personality, you're generally liked. You talked about going to parties. They wanted you there to entertain them.
Yes.
You were liked in school. So you just got back to your own personality. And then
I
everything
did. You
started
know what?
clicking.
That's true. My daughter, I have two daughters, as you know, I talk about them in the show. And as a matter of fact, if you see the show, the mother's curse joke is absolutely 100% true. There's nothing false about that. So I just tell the story. But it was my oldest daughter who said to me one day, Mom, if you could just be yourself, you've got this. But it's really hard to be yourself. I mean, I speak. I'm also, I speak on mental illness, and I do some abuse work, and I've actually talked to at-risk kids, so I've got that side of me too. And when I'm on stage speaking, that's when I get nervous. I don't get nervous before a comedy show. It's Kim Curley, and there is somewhat of a persona. But going out as myself and talking and getting a different word across it's a little scary. Like
I
people see me. It's like Avatar. I see you. It's like, oh crap.
I guess I had that German self-defense mechanism. I didn't care. I was up in
Yeah,
front of the crowd, and now you have to listen to what I have to say. You know,
that's a blessing.
I've worked on some major events where I was, a coordinator or something, and I would always go up to the MC and say, who was generally, it was their event, and I would generally say, "Don't go down, but if you do, I'm there for you." And I have a lot to say, and this crowd needs to hear it.
Oh, that's a good one. Okay,
So,
there's the right side of it. I was using the camera to say which hair is in the way. It's this one. Yeah, yeah.
so
Can I tell one of the funniest stories on stage that I ever had?
you can
Can we
say
get to that
anything.
point? Can we get to that point right now?
You can say whatever you want. Yeah.
So I just got booked, and the booking agent said, "Hey, do you know this guy?" And I'm going to give you a false name because it's not the best story about him, but I'm going to say Bill Smith. So do you know Bill Smith? I'm like, "Oh, I know Bill Smith." Let me tell you what happened. So one year I had been fired from a radio job. So I used to do morning radio in San Antonio, which comedy afforded me. So I was a teacher. I did some gig at one point. Got noticed by somebody who introduced me to the radio here in San Antonio. I did classic rock KZEP 104.5 for a few years, and we were number two in the state. Woo! We were number two in the city. We did really well. But anyway, I got fired,
I can't
which happens.
imagine.
It happens a lot. Hey, they hired me back a couple of years later, but then fired me pretty quick after that. So it wasn't, there's no radio stars in radio right now. But anyway, so I'm fired. I've got two kids, I've got a mortgage, and I'm thinking, okay, I got to go on the road because I'm an English teacher. It's October. What do I do?
Right.
And in the middle of all this, I get a phone call from Bill Smith, and he says, "Hey, there's a gig. It's huge. I want you to headline. It's X amount of dollars. I think it was like $750, which is was great. One gig, we're done. So we're gonna drive up to San Angelo and do this." I'm like, "Cool." At the time, I think I had the flu, and now this is a long time ago. It wasn't COVID. It was a long time ago. I had the flu, but it was pretty much over. But by the time I got to San Angelo, I had been talking in the car. Bill Smith rode with me. I had no voice, none. So I'm going, I can't speak. So I go to Bill Smith. "Hey, Bill, I can't do the show as a headliner. Put me as a feature." And he got very angry. So here's why he got angry. He got angry because he was known for not paying comics, and he was like, "I'm not paying you if you don't headline." And so all the other comics were like, wait a minute." So I get up on stage, and and I need the money, man. I need the money, and I get up there and I'm holding the microphone, and I'm going, nothing comes out. There's 1,000 people in the audience. I kid you not. It's a community centered event in San Angelo. They all start booing me. They all start screaming at me. And I'm standing there, and you know what my only thought is? I need to pay my mortgage.
Right.
I got to figure this out. What am I going to do? And I wouldn't leave the stage. And, what seemed like a long time, it was probably like 35 to 40 seconds of this just
Right.
standing there. And this kid was right in the front, and he was 19 years old. And he's the one that's being the most loud that I could see. And he's calling me names, telling me I stink. So I pointed at him and I said, "Come here." And so he gets up on stage, and I whisper, "Hey, if I say my set line to line, would you perform it for me?" And he said, "Yeah." And I said, "Well, I do some impersonations. Can you do those?" And he goes, "Yeah, I do impersonations." Thank you, Jesus. It was like a rock show. It would be like I'd whisper a line to him. He would listen. He would give the line, and everybody would just go crazy, whether it was the punchline or not.
Right.
And it went on for like 40 minutes, and they were like screaming and hollering and whistling. And when the punchline came, he would be jumping up and down and dancing like, "Wow, let's do another one! Let's do another one." So the guy who was going to follow me didn't want to follow me. He says, "Let's just end the show here because that was amazing." And Bill Smith made him go up. And from what I understood, Bill Smith was not going to pay me, but all the comics made him pay me. And so they said that I atoned for all the times that he didn't pay comics. But that's thinking on your feet, buddy. There's everybody, all comics probably, we have stories. Like I performed in front of 6 people. I got paid, but it was 6 people. And it's hard. It's not always easy.
But it was a beautiful crowd, and they loved you.
Yeah. They loved me. Yeah.
Okay. And just do a bit of, and I hate to ask you this, could you do just a bit of Droopy Dog?
Droopy Dog sounds like this, and only people who know Droopy Dog know that I'm nailing it
Well,
pretty good.
yeah,
Oh
well,
dear.
our audience will recognize this. And where did that come from? The backstory is fascinating too.
What, be doing Droopy Dog?
Yeah, for the
What,
class.
for the class? Oh, because I used to do voices in my class. I mean, I'm surprised I kept my job because I used to do an Indian voice every now and then, like, "Hello, today we're going to talk about where the rice comes from." And so one time when someone actually came on and was doing an Indian accent, they're looking at me like, "Gosh, Miss Curley, you're like right on." I was like, "I know, I'm good at it." So I used to do different voices. I used to do Arnold Schwarzenegger all the time. And so Droopy Dog was this particular class's favorite. And so I used to teach the toughest kids. I mean, I got the kids who were socioeconomically, struggling. Their families were struggling. I got the kids who I had gang members in my class. That was the kids that they would give Miss Curley, which was fine with me because I was able to reach him. So I was blessed to do it. So anyway, this kid comes up to me and he was one of my little, tough guys. And he said, "Miss Curley, we've all talked. If we all get an A on this test, will you teach in Droopy Dog voice the entire class the next time we get together?" And I'm thinking this is easy. They're not going to all get a 90 on the test. And I'll be darned if they all got 90s and above on the test. So I actually taught the next day in Droopy Dog, but I planned it because Droopy Dog's depressing, right? He's very sad.
He is sad.
So I taught a double negative lesson, and I really did that. I thought this is going to be perfect. I don't got no money means I don't have money. If I don't have money, I don't got no money means I have money.
That makes
So
sense.
stupid. It was so stupid. But the kids were dying. And I'm like, does anybody really understand that double negative means a positive? They're like, keep it going, Miss Curly. Keep
You're
it
the
going.
best. You're teacher of the year. Teacher of the millennium.
I got the intercom from somebody like, "Miss Curly, do you have Justin Case in your class?" And I went, "Yes." And they're like, "Oh, you." And I went, "Yes, I do." They did not let me skip a beat with that.
Okay. Kim, we could do this all day, all night. Let's get on to what are you doing now? What is this umbrella thing I keep hearing about?
Oh, so I'm very excited about my business is Team Umbrella Drink, and I should have had a glass in front of me with an umbrella. So I don't want to run off and do that. But it originated from the fact that I was writing one day and I wrote this little thing about I felt I had fallen into the sea of uncertainty. I was going through it was a very bad time, a sea of uncertainty, and I felt alone. I felt afraid. It was a tough time again. It
Right.
was really rough. And then and I wrote, but I realize I've always been here, and I look around, and all of us are here. All of humanity's here. While some thrash in fear, others are floating by holding an umbrella drink. So that's the basis. It's a lifestyle brand, and the basis of it is when you see someone with an umbrella drink, what do you think, Justin Case? What do you think? What's your immediate feeling thought?
I would promote them to the cool kids table in the lunchroom immediately.
Exactly. Exactly. They're cool. They're happy. They're vacationing. They're relaxed. World is good. I mean, and so that's kind of what I'm promoting in a way. It's a lifestyle brand. I do have my first sponsor, and so it's a vodka company. However, it's any drink, So we're also talking to a coffee company, and what we're doing is we're going into establishments. We're funding, say, the best hurricane or whatever it is, a best martini. And if you come out one night, I'll do a Facebook Live. If you come out in San Antonio, if you're there, free drinks. Whoever does the best James Bond maybe will get a hat or a t-shirt, but we're going to pick that night after going to several different places the best martini, and we're going to give him a Team Umbrella Drink trophy. So in San Antonio, you're going to want one of my trophies. See? Huh? Huh?
Yeah, I want one now. Do I have to? But I don't. Do I have to chew the air of San Antonio to win a trophy? It doesn't seem right.
Here. just dab it away.
Yeah, and I've watched in trying to do my deep research for these interviews, and everybody knows how serious I take all of this. I have watched a couple of your Facebook lives, and
Oh yeah,
you're hitting us with that umbrella, and it does make me feel better. I do laugh.
it does.
Yeah, so it's a cool thing, and
It
for
is a cool thing. And the person, when they put an umbrella in their drink, it makes them happy. And so eventually what's going to happen, just in case, eventually what's going to happen is I will have a drink available with called My Umbrella Drink. And it's going to have umbrellas that you can buy it, you cut it up, the umbrellas are there. And I've also got umbrellas coming with my name. So this is brand new. So thanks for letting me talk about it with Team Umbrella Drink on it. So be on my team.
so
I'd
I'll be
be
able to
happy to.
order an umbrella drink kit for my party,
Yeah.
and we can
For your next bridal shower, maybe.
my next bridal shower. Well, yeah, I don't think
I
that'll
think
be
it's gonna.
happening.
I think it's gonna work. So I'm excited about it.
Well, we've done a lot with the Quilts for Wounded Warriors project, and they sit around and they're quilting, and I think they're your next big market because
It is. That's
they need to be
awesome.
drinking mai tais with umbrellas while they quilt.
Or not. It could be grape juice. Though grape juice is really bad, full of sugar. But put some grape juice, whatever, water, whatever. Put an
Well,
umbrella in it.
what I've deduced from this group is I think it'll be mai tais,
My
and they're
ties are good. You don't
and,
know it hits you, and you go, "Oh, I think
yeah.
tied one on." Is what I think I did. I tied one on with my ties. So
Well, in this group, what they do is they make quilts for veterans and returning soldiers, and they're like comfort quilts, and it's just a
that's cool.
beautiful association of ladies and probably some men that they dedicate their spare time to doing this,
Yeah,
and
that's cool.
they put up with me too, but I love them
Well,
and
that's great that you found your people. You found
my
your people.
peoples. Yeah, I found my people. Okay, all right,
My people have hoops and they have stuff that they're doing. These are my people.
they have purpose.
They have yes.
Okay. Well, that's exciting. We're going to follow that umbrella drinky thingy, and I will try and find an umbrella around here and have one in the morning with my coffee.
There we go. There we go.
Okay.
I should have said.
Okay, Kim, any final thoughts? And could you please share or close with a joke?
Oh, he told me to have one ready.
No, I
Hey
didn't.
Kim, have a joke ready. Are we done already? How much time have we done? I'm gonna put my glasses on. I'm a little disappointed, Justin. I thought we'd talk for longer, but that's all right.
How long do you think we've
Um,
talked? How long do you think we've talked, Kim?
well, it's actually been almost a half hour. That's a long time. That's a long time. So thank you for your time.
Well, it's a long time for
I
me
need
to
to
stay
be
awake.
it's I need to be grateful, and I'm very grateful. So thank you. I need to be grateful.
Well, so are we.
Um, so I tell
Uh, uh, uh,
stories. I'll tell you the story. A story, true story. I'm driving with my kids, and we're going through. I used to live in a small town outside of San Antonio, and we're driving through. And we've had a lot of closures of certain businesses in the last few years, and one of them was Blockbuster, right? So we go by the building, and they're trying to refurbish the Blockbuster into a like a jeans store. And so we started going, wow, Blockbuster's closed. That is crazy. And they said, yeah. I said, yeah, everything's like going obsolete really fast. I wonder what's next, right? And then we heard Siri say, people.
yeah, no kidding. Siri was
And
on
I
time.
thought, yeah, yeah. And I built a home. I'm very, I'm blessed to have built a home. And one of the things I didn't put on my home was, I didn't put a screen door on my home. Did you grow up with a screen door?
I did. When I grew up in Phoenix, we didn't lock the doors.
I know. We had a door with a lock, that little hook, and it went like this.
Right.
And my mom would like we'd be in bed, everybody'd be in bed, it'd be like 10:30 at night. Did anybody lock the screen door? Because back then we just left the front door open. It's like, oh, we better go put that hook in to keep all the burglars out, right?
Yeah,
It's like,
with that 10-cent eye hook that was holding it in place.
and then I'll share one more because
Okay.
I was which one should I share? And since I notice it's not quite a half hour, I'm going to fill up your whole half hour. So I want to go back to school. I have my master's degree in counseling, but I would really like to get my doctorate. I think Dr. Kerley is kind of a fun sounding name too. I think it's got a lot of purpose too. My new hero is this woman. Her name is what's her name? Amy, and she graduated with her bachelor's degree at 89 years old. 89, and she graduated. And they said, so what are you going to do now, Amy? And she said, because she couldn't hear.
Yeah.
And then I'm thinking, this is smart because she immediately went into a master's program. 89, she's getting her master's. You know what? That's the way I should have done it. Waited until I was like 89 and 90, and then just used all the financial aid in the world that I wanted. I'm going to I'll take it all. I'll take the food program. I'll live in the dorm. I'll take it all, government. Just give it all to me. I want to get my doctorate.
I
No
hope
paying that back.
I I hope Amy has a chance to take a few lip reading classes. Might help her with her master's degree, which I have no idea what it's in.
Oh, probably quilt making. No, I'm just kidding. I don't know.
Probably.
I didn't look into it that much. I was too enthralled with the fact she was 89 and didn't have to pay back all her student loans, because I paid all my student loans back. Thank you, United States government, for now saying, I think that we don't have to make them pay them back. Oh, I just paid them back last year.
Yeah, that's got the ire of quite a few people. Okay. Kim Kerley, thank you, thank you, thank you.
Thank you. Thank you for inviting me to do this. I enjoy talking about myself, and I enjoy listening to you.
Okay, well, with that being said, we're going to make you promise to come back.
I would love to, and I'll try to have a joke ready.
No, no,
Usually
no.
don't.
No, no. Have an umbrella drink.
That too. That too.
Okay. All
Thanks a
right.
lot.
Okay. This has been Justin Case and Kim Kerley, searching for and sharing some comedic light at the end of the tunnel. Thanks for joining us. Remember, additional information and links are provided in this video's read more, including how to get in touch with Kim. Please be sure to subscribe to this channel and support your local stand-ups at every opportunity. Plus, please remember to stand back. We are not quite sure how big this channel is going to get.